Hello, I'm Brian Tracy, and let me tell you about the 3 top self-development books that have had such a great impact on me. The first one, which I stumbled across many, many years ago, was called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Now, Napoleon Hill was a journalist and a writer, and he was called in to visit with Andrew Carnegie, one of the richest, most successful business magnates in the world at that time. And Andrew Carnegie invited him in for this interview, and he wasn't sure what it was about. And then Carnegie said, I want you to help me to develop a philosophy of success. I will open the doors to the 500 richest people in America so that you can interview them as many times as you need to, then take all the best information from these 500 people and put it into a series of books to help other young people to be successful much faster. And he said, but the challenge is this. He said, I'm not going to pay you a penny. I'll open all the doors so that you can get all the information and interview all these top people, but I won't pay you a penny. What do you say? And Napoleon Hill had thought this man was going to hire him and pay him an enormous amount of money to do this writing. He was shocked. And he sat there. He tells about it later. He sat there and he thought and he thought and he finally said, okay, I'll do it. And then Andrew Carnegie pulled his watch out from under the desk and he said, you had 60 seconds to give me an answer. You made your answer in 46 seconds. He then went on to open the door to every wealthy person in America, people who had started from nothing and become extraordinarily rich. And what Napoleon Hill did is he took over the years and he found that there were 17 principles that wealthy people had, qualities and behaviors. He found that no one started off with these qualities and behaviors, and he found that they were all learnable. So he wrote a 22-volume set of books on success, which nobody would buy. Then he wrote a 1,000-page book on success, which nobody would buy. And then suddenly the Depression hit, and nobody would buy a success book at all. So in 1936, they took a flyer, the publisher, and they published one small 250-page book called Think and Grow Rich, which became the most successful success book in the history of the world. And I read it over and over again, as have many of the wealthiest people in America. So that's my first one. That's where you would start. Now, my second one would be my own book, Maximum Achievement. Napoleon Hill's book was written in the 20s and 30s. My Maximum Achievement was written for the 21st century. And it shows you how to completely change the way you think, how to set goals in every area of your life, how to dramatically take control of your life in every area and eliminate the negative emotions that hold people back. But it also shows you how to form beautiful relationships with the most important people in your life, how to develop high levels of self-esteem and self-confidence all the time, and many other things. This book is based on my lifetime of study, reading hundreds and thousands of books and articles, putting the material together into seminars, and training more than 1 million people in something like 58 countries on these principles, and then writing it into a book. And so Maximum Achievement and Think and Grow Rich are the right hand and the left hand of success. Now, another book that I would recommend that I have always liked is The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale. Norman Vincent Peale, I knew him and I worked with him before he died. He was a minister and he came up with some very, very interesting ideas about how the more positive you think, the more energy you have, the more grateful you are for the things in your life, the more things that you will have to be grateful for. Just like I teach and other people teach, you'll attract into your life people and circumstances in harmony with your dominant thoughts. So Norman Vincent Peale's idea, the power of positive thinking, has changed an entire generation. You know, the last few decades in America have been the wealthiest decades of any country in the history of man on earth. And it's because these books and other books like them have cascaded like waves. And the people who read the books in the 50s and 60s and 70s, these people have become the movers and shakers and the wealthiest people in our society. So if you want to be like them, number 1, read Think and Grow Rich. Number 2, read my book, Maximum Achievement. Number 3, read The Power of Positive Thinking. Those books will change your life. I've spoken to thousands of people who say literally they went from rags to riches by reading any one of those books. If you read all 3, what a difference it will make. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment and subscribe to my channel by clicking on the button that appears on the screen. Hello, I'm Brian Tracy, and today I want to give you some tips on how to prepare for 2018. Imagine we are closer to 2025 than we are to 2010. As the numbers on the top of the calendar prepare to change digits once again, it's time to prepare for the year ahead. What are you going to do to ensure 2018 will be your best year? Here's how you can better prepare for a terrific year ahead. First, review your last year. Why is it important to review your past year? It's partly because even if you had a disappointing year in some areas, you likely had some significant successes. It can be rewarding and motivating to review those successes before moving on to the next calendar year. Write them all down. It's also important to review the goals you didn't reach. While you don't want to spend time getting down on yourself or not achieving each goal successfully, it can be empowering to be honest with yourself about why you didn't reach them. It's worth your time to examine what went wrong, why, and most importantly, how to improve and move forward. Taking what you've learned from 2017 can help you in not only setting but reaching your goals in 2018. Next, set goals for the new year. Setting and reaching goals is one of the most discussed, researched, and talked about areas in personal improvement. Odds are that you already are aware of the importance of identifying and putting your goals in writing, so now it's time to do it for the year ahead. It's absolutely fine if some of the goals you missed in the current year make it to your list of goals for 2018. After all, some large goals, or particularly challenging ones, take time. You'll also want to include new goals based on your experiences from the current year or changes in your personal and professional life. Third, deploy the 10-goal method. This is what I consider to be my favorite part of goal setting. It has made more people rich than any other method I've ever heard of in life. It starts by taking a sheet of paper and writing 2018 goals along with the current date across the top. Write down 10 goals that you want to achieve in the next 12 months, as if you have no limitations. There are some guidelines to this, by the way, that will help. Write your goals in the present tense, as if you have already achieved them. This is a special way of programming your subconscious mind to work 24 hours a day to make the goals come true. Write, I earn X amount of dollars a year, rather than I want to earn X amount of dollars per year. Always write it as though you've already achieved it. Even better, I earn X number of dollars in 2018, or even better, by December 31, 2018. Make it so clear that a 6-year-old could understand what your goal is. Write your goals in the positive tense. Rather than, I want to quit smoking, simply state your goal, I am a non-smoker, or I weigh X number of pounds. Write in the personal sense. Each of your goals should start with the word I. This tells your subconscious mind that the command is coming from the home office, from headquarters. It can then better register and act upon your goal. Setting goals that are in the present tense and in the positive and personal senses will energize your brain in helping you to achieve those goals faster and even automatically. Next, prioritize a single goal. Ask yourself what goal on that list of 10 that if you achieved it within 24 hours would have the greatest positive impact on your life. Give it some thought and then circle that goal. This specific goal then becomes your major definite purpose. It is also your primary goal and your most important focal point in life. Make a plan. Transfer this primary goal to a clean sheet of paper. Attach a deadline to that goal, phrased like the goal itself. I achieve this goal by this date. You'll then want to identify the challenges you'll face in achieving that goal, the knowledge or skills you'll need, and the people who can help you to achieve it. Write them down, write them down, write them down. Organize this list in the form of a plan. What do you do first? What do you do second? What do you do third? And then take some action immediately, even if the action isn't significant. Take the first step. The key to success in life is to decide what you want, make a list of the steps necessary, and then take the first step. And you can always see the first step. And when you take the first step, you'll see the second step. And when you take the second step, you'll see the third step, and you can accomplish extraordinary things with this method. Start chipping away at your goal immediately. Don't wait till tomorrow. Don't wait an hour. Do something now. Finally, mindstorm. Mindstorming is a terrific way to get your mind working and churning on ways to help you to achieve your goals. This is how it works. You take another separate sheet of paper and write, how can I reach my goal of earning X amount of dollars by December 31st, 2018, or whatever your primary goal is. Mindstorming always involves the use of a question. Try to come up with at least 20 answers to the question, not 19 or 18, but at least 20 answers that will help you to reach your goal. Often one answer, often number 19 or number 20, will inspire another answer, and reaching 20 is easier than it may seem. Keep going. Write more than 20 if possible. Using these strategies will put you in a good place to achieve your goals and have the kind of year that you both desire and deserve. Before we wrap up, I'd like to leave you with a thought to share with your friends and followers. Write out your goals on 3x5 index cards and a positive present tense statement and review them twice each day. Now, I'd love to hear from you, but my question today is this. Have you ever tried the 10-goal method? I encourage you to try it and leave your experience in the comments below. Sometimes just writing down 10 goals and picking one will change your life forever. Thanks for watching, and remember, if you want to change your future, take action, and take action now. If you enjoyed this video and feel it was valuable in teaching you about how to have a successful 2018, subscribe to my channel, like this video, and share this video with your friends. Don't forget to click the button on the screen for a free gift. Thanks again for watching. Focus is the key to growing your business wealth. What would your life be like if you could double your income this year? What if you doubled your income and you doubled the time you spent doing what you love with the people you love? How can you go from dream to reality? If you think it's impossible in this economy, it's not. In every shift of the economy, down or up, there are winners and losers, just like with everything in life. It's all in how you look at and play into your current circumstances. Even in the Great Depression, people became new millionaires. Today will be no different, but only if you know the correct path to get there. The key to being truly successful is knowing how and where to focus your time and efforts. For example, a while back I was talking with someone who sells their fiber optic cables and computer hardware. He wanted to know if I thought it was a good idea to diversify and try to resell self-improvement programs online. Now, here was someone who was doing fairly well with one business and about to take his eye off his primary source of income and try something he knew nothing about. Bad idea. If you want to be successful, the key is finding something you're good at and focusing your efforts to help people and become rich doing it. If this man were to branch out and begin selling self-improvement programs online, odds are he would have no time to grow his current business and his finances would just suffer, all while trying and probably failing to build a new business online. Not only should you not try to diversify yourself across too many niches, but you also need to focus your business and marketing strategy to ensure you see the very best results. For example, every successful business owner knows why they need a marketing strategy to attract new clients and make more money. But most don't know how and where to focus their marketing. They try a little of this and a little of that and get little in the way of results. So knowing how and where to focus your efforts is the key to success. Know who your customers are, where they are, and then direct all of your efforts toward finding them and attracting them to your business. With a proven system for getting prospects' attention, generating leads, converting leads to clients, maximizing sales, and generating repeat sales, you can easily double your income while cutting your time on the job in half or even more. So if you enjoyed this video and feel it was valuable in helping you to grow your business, share it with your friends or anyone else who might benefit from this information. Before we wrap up, I'd like to leave you with a thought to share with your friends and followers. Focus is the key to growing your business and building great wealth. Now, I'd love to hear from you, so my question today is, what area of your business will you choose to focus your efforts on this month? Leave a comment below, and I'll be sure to follow up with you. Thanks for watching, and remember, if you want to change your future, take action, and take action now. If you enjoyed this video and feel it was valuable in helping you achieve your personal or professional goals, subscribe to my channel, like this video, and share this video with your friends or anyone else who might benefit from this information. Hello, I'm Tracy, and today I want to talk to you about how to improve the way you listen. Communication is a skill that you can learn. If you're willing to work at it, you can rapidly improve the quality of every part of your life. The most important factor in communicating more effectively is actually the opposite of talking. It's improving your listening skills. You must learn to start asking questions and listen attentively without interruptions. As a rule, you pay attention to people you most value. When you pay close attention to another person when they are talking, you signal to that person that you very much value them and the content of their comments. This is very flattering to another person, and it causes them to respond warmly to your attentiveness. The major reason that most people have poor listening skills is that they're busy preparing a reply while the other person is still speaking. In fact, they're not even listening closely to what the other person is saying. They are thinking of other things and formulating their comments to be ready as soon as the other person takes a breath. Effective communication requires that you face the other person directly, lean slightly forward, and hang onto every word. Listen as though there were nothing else in the world more fascinating to you than what the other person is saying. In romantic relationships, by the way, this is incredibly effective. The very best conversationalists seem to have identified the knack of making the person that they're listening to feel as if he or she were the only person in the world. Good conversationalists can do this in the middle of a crowded room. Dale Carnegie once said that rapt attention is the highest form of flattery. Let me repeat, rapt, close attention is the highest form of flattery or paying value to another person. If you want to flatter a person and cause him or her to think highly of you, just pay close, undivided attention to every single word that he or she says, as though he or she were about to give you the winning lottery number and would only repeat it once. You'll be amazed at how much more conversational a person becomes and how much happier they are with you when you show them that you have effective communication and listening skills because you listen so well. In addition to listening without interrupting, you should also nod and smile and agree with what the other person is saying. Be active rather than passive. Indicate that you're totally engaged in the conversation. Make eye contact as the other person talks. Relax your body, and if you are standing, allow your weight to roll forward onto the balls of your feet. Only you will know that you have shifted your weight like this, but the overall impression you will give the speaker is that your whole energy is now forward and focused on what he or she is saying. How do you get this opportunity to listen so well? Simple. Start asking questions that are good and pointed, and keep asking questions one after the other. When communicating, there are 3 powerful questions you can use to control any conversation, to open up the other person, and to get the other person talking extensively about himself or herself. The first question when you meet a new person is, what sort of work do you do? By asking questions that are easy and general and that do not demand information on the person's
current job or position, it gives the individual the choice of answering you briefly or in depth. Remember, people are fascinated by their own work that takes up so many hours of their lives, and when you ask the question, they love to tell you about something that is central to their existence. Your second question, to follow the first, is how did you get into that line of work anyway? Start asking questions as though you are absolutely fascinated by the choices that he or she made to get into that particular field. I sometimes joke that most people feel that their personal career paths are among the most fascinating stories ever told on earth. When you start asking questions about how they got into their current line of work, they will usually be very pleased to tell you about the various twists and turns of their lives and career and the factors that lead ultimately to them doing the job that they are doing at the current time. The third question you can ask when the other person hesitates or slows down to check to see if you are really interested or if you're just making conversation is this: and then what did you do? This third question can be used to keep almost any conversation going indefinitely, like keeping plates spinning. You can ask, how did you happen to move to this city? Or, how did you happen to go to work for that company? Or, how did you happen to choose this sport or activity? People will be more than willing to answer these questions for you, and when they slow down for any reason, you smile pleasantly, lean forward a little bit and ask, and then what did you do? You will be amazed at the responses. Try these tips to make any person you're talking to feel more important and improve your communication and listening skills at the same time. One key point is that when you ask a question, the only way that the other person knows that you care about the answer is if you pause and you leave a silence so the other person can fill the silence with their answer. Many people think that they're becoming good communicators by asking lots of questions, but they don't leave any time for the other person to respond. When you leave time for the other person to respond, lean forward and watch the person's mouth while they speak, they will know and feel that you really care about the answer to the question. Now, I love to hear from you, so my question today is, what have you tried that's helped you to become a better listener? Leave a comment below and I'll be sure to follow up with you. Thanks for watching, and remember, if you want to change your future, take action, and take action now. If you enjoyed this video and feel that it was valuable in teaching you about communication skills, subscribe to my channel, like this video, and share this video with your friends. Don't forget to click the button on the screen for a free gift. Thanks again for watching.
Let's talk now about doing what you love. Author Marcia Sinitar wrote a top-selling book a few years ago whose title says it all. Do what you love, the money will follow. Almost every really successful, happy man or woman will say that the reason for their success is that they are doing what they love to do. Whenever a person is unhappy for any reason, I always ask them how much they enjoy their work, and would they choose to do this type of work if there were other options open to them. Invariably, when someone is generally unhappy with their life, especially a man, they are dissatisfied with their work for some reason. Ask this question yourself when you talk to people who aren't happy and see how they reply. Unfortunately, there's an old myth in our society that suggests that work is a penalty you pay during the day so that you can get your enjoyment from other things in the evenings and on the weekends. Unfortunately, about 80% of the population feel this way, that work is a punishment and that leisure is the reward that they get for it. Many people view work as a punishment that is unavoidable. They try to do it as well as they need to so that they just don't get fired, but they never really think about whether they enjoy it. However, this attitude is not for you. Your life is too precious and too valuable to spend it doing something that you don't enjoy. Every minute of your life should be spent doing things that you love and care about and that make you happy. Now, the wonderful thing is that the highest paid people in America and worldwide are often working at jobs that they enjoy so much that they hate to go home at night. And the lowest paid people are invariably found at jobs they dislike, in which they are just going through the motions, thinking about coffee breaks and lunch and when they can stop working. Now, here are 2 simple tests to determine whether you are in the right job for you. The first question you should ask yourself to test job suitability is this: would you continue to work at your current job if you won $1 million in the lottery tomorrow? If the first thing that you would do would be to quit your job if you had enough money, then this simply means that you're in the wrong job for you. It's just you're not doing the right thing. It's not that the job is bad or that the company is bad. It's just that the chemistry between you and it are not great. Another way to test job suitability is to use what I call the clock test. People who are in the wrong job watch the clock all the time. They're very aware of what time they start and what time they quit. People who are in the right job are seldom aware of the clock except to know how little time they have left to do the work they really enjoy before they have to go home. However you measure it, choosing the right work for you is central to your enjoying high feelings of self-esteem and self-confidence, not only in your work, but in every other area of your life. I hope you enjoyed this video on the importance of finding a job you love. Please subscribe to my channel and click on the like button below. As you know, I'm known to be a highly productive person. I speak 100 times a year, I write 4 books a year, I run 3 businesses, I travel all over the world. People say, how do you do it? Well, I have a morning routine, and I developed this a long time ago, and it really works. What I do is I always get up 2 hours before my first fixed appointment. So let's say I have a phone call at 8 o'clock, then I get up at 6 a.m. If I have to be in the office at 8:30, I'll get up at 6:30. It's always 6:30, maybe earlier if necessary, but always 2 hours before my first appointment. Then the first thing I do for the first 30 minutes is I exercise. And I'll do stretching exercises, I'll do yoga exercises. Sometimes I'll get up a little earlier and I'll do aerobic exercises on life cycle or elliptical machine or treadmill, or I'll swim. I usually swim every single morning. But for the first 30 minutes, get your body working. And then I like coffee. Then I'll do a little bit of spiritual reading, and I'll just relax and get my mind ready for the day, and then I'll get started. Within 60 minutes of getting up, I've exercised, prepared my mind, showered, dressed, and I'm ready to go. Then I have the next hour to plan, prepare, have breakfast, and get to my first appointment. So give that a try. Get up 2 hours early, exercise for the first 30 minutes to get yourself going, read a little to prepare your mind, and then be ready to go 1 hour before you have to be somewhere.
Hello, I'm Brian Tracy, and you may or may not know that I have been teaching professionals how to speak in front of large and small audiences for many years. So I want to talk to you today about how to survive a public speaking class. And therefore the idea of taking a public speaking class is a terrifying thing, sure to bring on bouts of anxiety. According to the Guinness Book of Records, the fear of public speaking ranks above the fear of death amongst life's major fears. 54% of adults rate speaking in front of an audience as higher than dying. But the truth is, a quality public speaking class, and virtually all classes out there that are successful is a quality class, is designed to help you overcome any fears associated with speaking in front of other people. However, speaking in front of others is guaranteed to be a part of the class, and this can be very frightening to some people. I'm here to share 7 steps that you can take to make your experience in the class a lot less stressful and a lot more enjoyable. And it's very important, by the way, that if you're going to take a class, you watch this video and you have other people watch the video as well. So to start, the first tip for surviving a public speaking class is to remember that the audience you are presenting to is comprised of students just like you, many of whom are likely to be just as nervous as you are. In a public speaking class, the audience you present to understands that you are there to learn just like they are, and they aren't there to judge you, so you can relax. Next, before you commit to a public speaking class of any kind, figure out what type of speeches will be covered in the course. Speeches can be broken down into 4 different categories: persuasive speeches, informative speeches, demonstrative speeches, and entertaining speeches. Figure out what type of speeches will be covered in the class that you are taking so that you'll be able to research and prepare yourself ahead of time for what to expect. The more you prepare, the less nervous you will be. When you start creating your speech, focus on the 3 pillars of effective speech writing. Don't get overwhelmed with the pressure to write the perfect speech. Instead, focus your creative process on the 3 pillars of an effective speech: thorough research, quality writing, and strong delivery. Being able to break your speech writing down to these 3 key areas will help the task seem less daunting and give you a clear direction to focus on. Next, and possibly the most important thing that you can do to survive a public speaking class, is to thoroughly prepare and practice your speech over and over before showing up in class to deliver it. Your level of preparation is immediately obvious from the time that you open your mouth. My son is a professional speaker, starting with no experience 3 years ago, and now he gets standing ovations because he prepares carefully. Whatever talk he has a chance to give, he prepares and prepares and prepares, and he gets wonderful responses from his audiences, which, as a father, makes me very happy. Nothing combats nervousness and anxiety quite like preparation. Once you are confident that you have written a great speech and you've practiced it enough to deliver it in your sleep, delivering that speech in front of an audience becomes less daunting. In fact, you can hardly wait. If you're still feeling anxious about your in-class delivery, the next tip is to perform your speech in front of a friendly audience first. If you have a few friends or family members who are willing to listen to your speech, you should take advantage of the opportunity to practice in front of a friendly audience. If they are someone you trust to provide you with honest, helpful feedback, then that's all the better. If not, have them record your speech so that you are able to view it yourself and make your own critiques. And by recording, we mean to videotape your talk. Another tip for surviving a public speaking class is to try to understand your instructor's grading system. Public speaking class grading systems will vary from course to course. Knowing what your instructor's grading system is will provide you with advance notice about what you need to do in order to make a good grade in the class. Last but not least, combat your glossophobia with confidence. Glossophobia, the fear of public speaking, is a phobia that can be overcome with confidence. Remember that people want to see you succeed, and no one who ends up watching your speech in a public speaking class is going to be rooting for you to fail. They want you to give a good talk. If you've put in the work before your speech, you have every reason to be confident about delivering it, and confidence replaces fear and nervousness. If you enjoyed this video and feel it was valuable in teaching you about how to survive a public speaking class, subscribe to my channel, like this video, and share this video with your friends. Don't forget to click the button on the screen for a free gift. Thanks again for watching.
A friend of mine has just written a book called Words Can Change Your Brain. And what he has found, based on years of intensive work in neuroscience, is that certain words have a tremendous impact on the way you think and feel, positive or negative. So the part of this segment is to change your language for a positive outlook. For example, in flying, the word attitude refers to the angle or flight of your approach relative to the horizon. If you lower or raise the nose of the plane, you change the attitude of the plane. The way you think about a problem determines your attitude or approach as well. Here are 3 words that you can use to change your attitude and your approach to any difficulty you face. First of all, change the word problem to the word situation. Whereas problem is a negative word that triggers feelings of fear and anxiety, situation is a neutral word. So instead of saying we have a problem, you can say we have a situation. My personal preference is to change the word problem to the word challenge. Whenever something goes wrong, immediately say, wow, we have an interesting challenge facing us today. You see, challenge is a positive word. When you think of a challenge, you think of something that you rise to, something that brings out the best in you and others. Challenges are what make life exciting and worth living. By rising to the challenges of day-to-day life, you fulfill more and more of your potential. Perhaps the best word of all is opportunity. Instead of saying we have a problem, you can say we have an unexpected opportunity. Napoleon Hill was famous for saying, every problem or difficulty you face contains the seed of an equal or greater advantage or benefit. Your job is to find the benefit. Look for the good in every situation, and this way of approaching a problem is determined by your attitude. The attitude of looking for the good in every situation, of looking for the advantage or benefit in any problem or difficulty, is the way that the most successful people think most of the time. Superior people, leaders in all areas, face the inevitable ups and downs of daily life on the way to their destinations by taking complete control of their thinking and their emotions. And they do this by choosing the words they use to describe a situation, their tone of voice, and their behavior in dealing with problems. A mark of maturity, a vital quality on the road to success and happiness and balance in life, is expecting problems and difficulties as normal, natural, and unavoidable parts of life. You can never avoid them. They come, as they say, like the waves of the ocean. Problems never stop. Becoming a superior person requires accepting that when you set off toward a big, exciting goal or destination, you will experience unexpected turbulence. One of the marks of leaders is they don't like to fail, but they know that they're going to fail over and over again on the road to success. Thomas J. Watson Sr., the founder of IBM, was once asked by a young journalist how he could be more successful faster. And he said, if you want to be more successful faster, he said, you must double your rate of failure. Success lies on the far side of failure. And the way that you succeed and fail and succeed is learn from every experience. Look for the good. Call it a situation, a challenge, or an opportunity to keep your mind positive and creative as you work your way through it.